Welcome to this video. In this video I will tell you about how to use the baseline driver training. You go into practice and here when we mouse over we have an explanation of what can you train and what is the benefit of training it. We go to practice. In here up in the top there's also explanation about how you can practice, start your training. Right now here you have left foot braking, you have right foot braking, you have left foot combined or right foot combined, and combined is we also have the throttle. So you have to choose now, are you using your left foot when you're braking or are you using your right foot? And I will advise you to just start with the braking and not take the throttle in the beginning. So right now it's just learning the program. Then you can see down here I have also loud string and spar. This is not in the standard application. This is data that you can import. You can take real data and import it into this, and this is what I've done here. You can see that in another video. First, I take the left foot braking, and in here we have 8 different brake zones, and you can see the white line. This because I have chosen brake zone 1. I could also take 2, 3, and so on. But in this video I'll just show you 1. It's more important how you use it. Down here you can take the speed, you can slow it down 0.5 and up to 2.0. In the beginning I will start with 1, and this is the real time. I will also in another video explain it more about the speed, why we have done it, what you can learn, and how it's working. Then we have the repetition. Right now it is 1, and you can also choose up to 24. But in the beginning I start with 1. Click the start button, and here try to imagine that you are going down the straight. So you're going down the straight full throttle. So when you activated the throttle, you have the left side, you have this green bar, but you can also see the blue dot. So this is your throttle, and with your brake this is the right one. So it's also going up here when I'm activated that, and you can see on the right side the red bar, and then a little to the right side you have the green throttle trace going down because you have to lift the throttle. You're coming to your brake zone, and then the red line brake trace is your brake. It's going up, and then I have to go up here 89 bars. So I can just right now just learning my muscles and memorize how hard I have to push the brake. So now full throttle, I activate the button and start the program. You could see the way the program was working. Up here you can see I was braking a little too early, 0.24 meters, and the white line here, this is the brake point, and you can see I'm just activated a little too early. My time to peak 0.14 seconds, and the baseline was a 0.19. And it depends on the way you are practicing. If you have to do it on correctly the same time, or you want to do it faster or slower. And I'll say if you can do it faster, that's good, because if you can do it faster, you can also do it slower. But if you can only do it slower, you don't have the opportunity to do it faster if that's necessary. So that's really one thing that you have to put a lot of effort in, and then try to do it faster and faster and faster. And then it depends on which car you are in, if the car can manage your fast time to peak. But then you can just do it slower. And the time to peak is here. The white line here, the gray line, when you activate the brake until you have your hardest pressure, it's your time to peak. Then we have the peak pressure, and the peak pressure, I was up here 100 bar, I only had to be 90 bar, so I was peaking too hard. Then I have coasting, and when you can see here when I'm mousing over, there's an explanation about overlap and coasting. And I will here with this slider here, I can just make the trace being more. I can see the trace even better, so I make it a little bigger. And the coasting is here when you release the throttle, and then until you activate the brake. So I release the throttle, and 0.02 seconds after I activate the brake. It have to be as low as possible. And then the throttle release is when I activate the throttle until the throttle was in zero. So how long time did it take for me to release the throttle completely? And when you go in and doing this here even more, and when you're working with the brain training in baseline, you will suddenly see that, oh, my throttle release is slower or faster. And I've said it should take the same amount of time to release your throttle, but it won't, because you are thinking. And when you are thinking, you're working slower, your input from your brain to your muscles are working slower. I will do it one more time, and now I will try to make overlap instead. I just click the button and do it again. Starting. And now you can see I'm braking later, 8 meters too late, not that hard on the peak. Still the same time to peak, but now it's overlap. And let's see here. I slide it here, and then we can go into it. I start here on the brake, and 0.02 seconds after, I released the throttle. And that's not good. That's not good for you as a driver, because when you're doing this, you overheating your brakes. Your brake is not that efficient because you are full throttle and braking, so the car will not brake that so good. So the more you can go to 0.0, the better you will be. This is only with left foot braking. You have this overlap. But this is something that you really need to look into as a driver, and as a driver coach or engineer. You can practice it so much here. And again, with the brain training, it will come up. If it's not in in your subconsciousness that you have this overlap, and you are doing this brake training, it will come for sure. And then we go back again, and then I'll say, okay, now I will have also working with my throttle. So I take left foot combined. I can take the same zone again. Now we have the throttle also. It's still the same brake zone. I started it. So all the data is the same, but you have with your eyes, your visualization, look at the trace. Are you hitting the same thing as the one that you have to copy? And then you can dive more into it as I explained it before. And now you can also here click. Now the brake is gone, or the throttle is gone. So you can just, if it's easier for you to look at it, you can have it there or not. I want to show one thing more. With the speed, I will go to 1.7 in speed, and then you can just see the trace. The trace are coming so much faster. You can see that was much faster. It's still the same trace, but as a driver, you have to be much faster. And there's another video where I'm explaining it even more, why you have to do this, the benefits of practicing with more speed or with lower speed. But every time you change the speed, you change your way of reacting. So your brain, your pathways in your brain have to do something new, even if it's still the same. So you as a driver will improve even more. I hope that you will enjoy this practicing, that you will improve, that you can see the benefits of it. Do the best thing you can do, and maybe just 5 minutes a day or 15 minutes. It doesn't have to be that long, but if you do it often, you can feel the benefits pretty soon. Enjoy your practicing, and good luck with your development.